Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another Dragon Ball video. Now today we're gonna do something a little different, and instead of talking about just one story, I'm gonna give you guys a rundown of my 7 favorite Dragon Ball fan mangas, and definitely ones you should think about checking out if you're new to the community or if you're just looking for something to read in general. Before we do get started, however, I want to personally thank everyone in the Dragon Ball fan manga community for all of the support given to these amazing authors and artists for what they do. If you're interested in being more involved in the fan manga community, be sure to join the Dragon Ball fan manga Discord, which will be down below in the description, along with the links to all of the fan manga that I'll be mentioning in this list. Now, in no way am I saying that these are the only good fan mangas, because every single one was created with countless hours of dedication, and all of the amazing people that make them are so talented. But this video would be hours long if I tried to include every one of them, and we just don't have the time for that. But anyways, without further ado, let's get started. Now, this is in no particular order, but the first piece I'm going to start with is actually one we just recently finished here, called Dragon Ball vs. Dream Match. Now, one of the things that definitely makes a fan manga great in my opinion is the creativity in the idea and the execution of that idea, and in my opinion, Young Gigi is one of the best at that, and he definitely outdid himself once more on this manga with his attention to detail and how he put together this story. Here's the world chart that the story is set in, just to give you all an example of where in the history of Dragon Ball this would have taken place. In this story, amidst his fight with Goku from the main timeline, Goku Black, after destroying the time machine, is ripped into a mysterious timeline unrecognizable, as the world where he came from has already been massacred for the most part, but this one was full of much more life than he deemed should be there. The timeline he finds himself in now is none other than the Dragon Ball GT timeline. It's here that he encounters GT Goku, who possesses the power of the Super Saiyan 4. Now, in GT, Goku never came in contact with Beerus or Whis, nor does he know about the power of the Super Saiyan God at first. Dragon Ball New Age is a story by Malik Studios, who also has a pretty amazing deviant art catalog that you guys should check out as well. Now, Dragon Ball New Age is a story that takes place 2 years after the defeat of the Shadow Dragons at the end of GT. 2 unknown Saiyans have set their sights on Earth, and when they arrive, it's discovered that this is Vegeta's brother Rigor. At this point in the GT timeline, Vegeta has finally learned to control the power of the Super Saiyan 4 on his own, but Rigor somehow possesses power even beyond that of Vegeta. Now, I don't want to give away too much about this story because it's quite long and there are a few different elements to it than just one straight up fight, so I definitely recommend this being one that you check out right away, and shout out to Malik for all of his amazing work on this piece. The next fan manga I would definitely without a doubt recommend is called Dragon Ball Super EX, which boasts another of the Frieza race as a main villain. This story takes place in the main Dragon Ball timeline after the Universe 6 vs Universe 7 tournament. Over in Universe 6, Bleed, the brother of Frost, goes to Earth in search of that universe's Dragon Balls. With Kabe being the main defender of the planet Earth, he's the first to run into this new threat, but even with his new Super Saiyan 2 transformation, he's no match for Bleed. Now, one thing I liked right away about this story is the attention to detail that was given to the Mirror Earth in Universe 6, because we never really got to see it, so being able to see what it might have been like with the mirror versions of Goku, King Vegeta, and other Saiyans like that was actually pretty interesting. But with that being said as well, there is no mention of Hit, Kel, or Caulifla in this story, so Kabe instead has to reach out to the Z Fighters in Universe 7 for help. However, not only is Bleed more powerful than his brother Frost, but not even Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and Goku are enough to defeat him. If you like fights that have crazy endings, I definitely suggest you check this one out because it does come with a few surprises. Next is probably the original fan manga that most people are familiar with as well, if I can even call this a fan manga, but it features arguably the most well-known side story character, Zykor. Toybo's Dragon Ball AF was the very first experience I had with fan manga, just from seeing different fan art of Zykor on the internet for years, but the story takes place a few years after GT and ties all the way back to when Goku defeated Frieza on Namek. With Goku having left the world of the living with Shenron, the Z Fighters are forced to fend for themselves when Zykor arrives, and he claims to be the 3rd son of Goku. Since this is set after the events of GT as well, not only has Vegeta had time to master the Super Saiyan 4 form, but so has Gohan. But with Zycor being the very first Saiyan Kaioshin hybrid, he possessed power that none of them have ever seen before, even greater than that of the Shadow Dragons. Number 5 on my list is going to be Dragonball E X Apocalypto. Now, it's been a while since we've covered this story. I don't know if you guys remember this video, but this one delivers a little bit more to the emotional side. Without spoiling too much, this story also takes place after the end of the Dragon Ball series following the GT continuation and features some pretty cool appearances from characters and certain transformations. Now that Goku is living in the world of divine beings, he is transcended into a god. But as always in Dragon Ball, no matter where Goku goes or what he's doing, trouble will find him, and that's exactly what happens as some evil entity seems to take over his mind, and when he finally returns to Earth, he's forced to fight against the very people he lived to protect for so long. Number 6 is going to be Dragonball Unguarded, which is a fan manga that just recently rose to fame within the community not too long ago for its aggressively creative and oddly popular concept of a childhood for Frieza. Combine a great idea with an attractive art style, and this fan manga was built for success from the start. This once again is another manga that focuses a little more on the plot rather than the action. Frieza's early life as portrayed by Lady Tigre shows how growing up a family prodigy and in the shadow of his father King Cold led Frieza to become the evil, Saiyan massacring tyrant we know today. I definitely appreciate a different spin on things like this that show aspects we never really thought about before, like who would ever think that maybe Frieza wasn't always this power-hungry warlord and actually acted like a regular kid at one point. Lastly, one of my new personal favorites and one a ton of you guys love, Dragonball Shippuden. Now, as you guys can tell by the title, Dragonball Shippuden is actually a Naruto and Dragon Ball crossover that takes place during the Shippuden time skip in the Narutoverse. After Goku drunkenly goes messing around in the basement of Capsule Corp during a night of partying with Bulma and Vegeta, he gets a little too close to one of the machines and it somehow warps him into the land of the shinobi that we all know as Naruto. Right away, Goku encounters the Akatsuki unknowingly, but it isn't until he gets to Konoha that he's informed of just what he's up against. This fan manga is definitely one of the most creative and interesting stories I've ever read, and the scenarios that Goku are put in, while some are funny, I feel like we've all wanted to know at some point just what would happen if the Sharingan was used on Goku, and seeing it brought to life like this was just amazing. That's gonna do it for this one, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you are new to the fan manga community, welcome. I hope you enjoy yourself here. There's a bunch of cool people, a bunch of crazy, just amazingly creative content to find. I hope you found this video somewhat informative enough. I try not to spoil too much while also giving a rundown of the story, but you guys know how that goes. Really quick before we end off though, I want to take a quick second to thank all of you for all of your support and how much you guys mean to me. I know we never really focused on sub goals before, but 154,000 of you guys gave me a chance, and I honestly can't thank you enough for that. And our next goal of 200k, I'm really focused on that. Like I said, I never really been focused on sub goals before, but I am like dead locked on to 200k, and it's right around the corner. And when we do get there, I want to do something special for you guys, because we never really even got to celebrate 100k, so we got to do it right this time. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitch as well for upcoming streams that will be starting soon. I know I said that in the past, but I'm still waiting on some art, so if you guys know of any artists that do Twitch panels and things like that, definitely let me know. But that's all we're really waiting on right now. Once that's all together, we'll be up and running on Twitch again. Anyways, make sure you go join the Dragon Ball fan manga Discord down below, and also don't forget to check out all of these amazing fan manga along with their videos, which will be linked down below if you want to check them out. But anyways, have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.